Today, what we're here to do is to get information to you and then ask you how you feel about your city's charter and to know what you want it to be going forward. In the beginning, when George Floyd was murdered, the phrase was thrown out, defund the police. And only if it were that easy. And then the phrase was thrown out, disband the police. Disband them. Then the phrase was thrown out, change the charter. So it sounds like a lot of the groups that were addressing this got educated as they went along. And as you come to understand your city more, as you come to understand the leadership here, the thing you'll come to understand is that a lot of people have been taking seats in Minneapolis and have not been doing a lot of progressive change. And although you may feel that you are in the right lane of change by voting blue or voting red or voting libertarian or voting for the marijuana party, forever what you're voting for, civic engagement is great and voting is great. However, getting real change, I go back to my father's old friend, August Nims. August Nims said, a lot of white folks will tell you that voting is the ultimate civic engagement. And August will then say, well, how do you think black people got the vote? We had to go to the streets. We had to make our voices heard. We had to burn some buildings. We had to make white people feel uncomfortable. We had to make the powers that be feel uncomfortable. And that's part of social change. That is the history of social change. And while we go through this, you may feel uncomfortable, but as always, be with it. Sit with it. Really, really sit with it. Get to know it well, because you're going to feel it very often throughout your life. And it's probably a good thing that you're feeling uncomfortable, because what we're here today to do, what you're here to do today, is to not normalize doing the bare minimum. And what we're going to do is we're going to march to 2 sites. And at the second site, we're going to have an open forum. And when we have that forum, I want you to use some of the things that you've been thinking about since the beginning of this march, or maybe since George Floyd, or maybe before that. But I'm going to ask you the question right now, and I really want you to engage with it once we get to the second site. What do you want? What do you really want? And what can the charter possibly do to reflect that? Because right now there's a lot of things wrong with the charter that you don't know about, that I don't know about, that I'm learning about, that you may be learning about, that are very, very insidious, very dangerous. So think about what you want. And then when we get to the second site, speak up. Seriously, speak up. Even if you're white, speak up. I know that you've been told to shut up and watch a lot, but seriously, we want this to be a community forum. We want to hear voices on this, because what has been the status quo is not working. It's not working at all. And so what we're here to do is to set a new status quo.